What's up guys, my name is Marcus. Welcome back to another video. So, I'm here to resolve a problem that many of you and as well as me have been having with the Inductrix little tiny whoop. Okay, so I bought this without a transmitter because I thought that I could use a multi-protocol module or something like that with my Tyrannus here or FR Sky in order to, fly this thing. So I didn't think I really needed a transmitter. However, I found a much cheaper solution. Instead of buying a multi-protocol module that would go onto the back of this, or buying a Spektrum module, because this thing actually runs on Spektrum, on the protocol that Spektrum uses, but this thing doesn't work on that, and neither does this Turnigy Evolution here. So I thought, wait, I have an old Sport Cub that I haven't used in forever, and I probably won't use ever again because it's a little broken. So I decided, wait, E-flite is made, or these E-flite controllers actually use the same protocol as the Spektrum transmitters, and I think Horizon Hobby, anything Horizon Hobby, E-flite, and there's a bunch of other brands that Spektrum has that all use the same protocol that you can actually bind to your Inductrix. So let me show you how to do it. First, what you're going to need to do is if you have FPV on yours, you're going to have to disconnect that FPV cord. I had a problem with that. You may not have to on yours, but on mine at least, you actually have to disconnect the FPV cord in order to actually for it to power the flight controller. It's really weird through the computer. I'm sorry. With the battery, it'll power both, but if you're powering from your computer, at least on mine, you have to disconnect the FPV. So let me just bring you over here, and so let's plug this guy in. Okay. So once we plug it in, you can either do this or you can plug it into a battery. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to turn on this thing. But before you turn it on, actually, you're going to push this stick down. See, it actually pushes down. Similar to like how a PlayStation or Xbox controller, this stick actually pushes down. So what you're going to do is you're going to push this down and then turn it on. You're going to hear that, and then you're going to release it, and that's going to put your controller into bind mode. Okay? And if your controller may have a different setting, and at least on mine, it actually has the binding instructions on the back of the controller. So it may be different for your controller, but that at least is how mine works and how most of them should work. Now, as you can see, I've actually already configured this tiny loop, but if you were to configure it yourself, you may need to change some of the settings in Betaflight. So here we are on Betaflight. So if you have not configured this quadcopter, this is the first time you've done it, then you're going to want to go to receiver, okay? And right now mine is okay. This channel map, when you do the sticks on here, when you go up on the left stick, throttle should be going up and down, okay? Roll, when you go right or left on the right stick, roll's gonna move, okay? When you go up or down on the pitch, or when you go up or down on the right stick, there. When you go up or down on the right stick, then pitch should move. And then when you go left or right on the left stick, then yaw should move, okay? So on this, and then if that's not how it's set up, then you're going to want to go to channel map right here, and you're going to want to switch it to Spektrum / Spektrum right here, because it's running Spektrum. So once you switch it to Spektrum, you may want to change the stick low threshold, stick center threshold, and stick high threshold, depending on where those are on your little map right here. So once we're done with our receiver and everything should be responding like that, you're going to notice that this switch right here in the back, that's how you're going to change your flight modes and arm your quadcopter, okay? And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. So, there we go. Focus on that. Alright, so you notice when I flip this switch, that aux, you see that one green bar is going to go up and down because I'm flipping it, right? So now you're going to have to go into modes. Okay? So what you're going to want to do is, for your arm, you're going to go to aux 1, and you're going to put everything, you're going to put air mode, horizon, and arm. Okay? And you're going to put all of them for aux 1. And so what you're going to want to do is you're going to put air mode and arm, so this switch, when this switch is activated, arm and air mode are activated when it switches up. Okay, so this is when the switch is in its utmost position. As you can see there, these little this shows what it's transmitting. So it should be in this this little thing right here. It should be in this little range right here. Okay? Now what you're going to do is, since there's a middle trigger on mine, that's going to be nothing. That's going to be disarmed and in no mode at all. Okay? And then once you go all the way down, that should be horizon and arm. So what this will do is it'll make it so if the switch is in the middle position, then it will be disarmed and not in any mode. But when you put it in the up position, it is going to be in air mode or acro mode. And when you put it in the down position, it's going to be in horizon mode and also armed. Same thing with this one. This is going to be air mode and armed. Okay? And so once you're done with that, you're going to press save. And then also for the receiver, you're going to want to press save before you continue. Okay? So now this is a little bit of a problem that some people have, especially when you don't want to do tricks on your Inductrix. If your minimum throttle is too high, then sometimes if you're doing flips, you can't really do them very well because the props will still be running even though you're like upside down, which is not something you want. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure everything's clear of the props. You're going to plug in your battery, and you're going to the props are going to spin when you do this. So you have to click this you say understand risks, propellers are removed. You don't actually have to remove the propellers for this one because they're guarded and stuff like that, but okay. And then you're going to press on the master, and you're going to go up. You're going to press the up arrow on your thing until all of the motors are spinning. And once all the motors are spinning, go a few up from that, and remember whatever value your motors are at. So at mine, I just do a good 1038, and that's a good minimum throttle for mine. Now yours may be different depending on the type you have and stuff like that. And so once you remember that, you're going to want to go to this little setting right here, minimum throttle, and you're going to set it to whatever that minimum throttle we found was. Okay? Now everything else should be already put in there, or already set and ready to go, especially if these are bind and fly. But there's just a few things that you should probably tune, And those are what I showed you. You should probably tune those, especially if you're using a new transmitter. So yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.